It is hard to find those people who are not the fans of any superhero series, Batman or Superman, Marvel or DC. There are a lot of talks about that around. But what about superheroes in the gaming industry? Very often superhero games fail sadly. This year we have few challengers, and starting with the new Gotham Knights. So grab yourself something tasty and let's begin. Gotham Knights put you in the boots of the Batman's closest allies, Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, and Robin, as they pick up Call of the Justice after Batman's D's. This is actually exactly where the game begins, at the Batman's D's. Players then go to the nightly patrols in the fully open renditions of the Gotham City, and investigate the mysterious circumstances behind the deaths of the Dark Knight, as well as the other villains, who their death is opportunity to wreak a havoc in the city. Gotham Knights attempts to difference itself from the superhero games by having a full customizable gear system and having the game be full co-op experience. While their game begins with the stumble in the gameplay design choices, to be honest. Level enemies can enemies with the time that you will feel some of them are spongy or some of them boss encounters are so poorly designed that I started to question if I was playing the encounter wrong. Where to even begin with? Well, the players are asked to engage with the crafting and gear system that allows you to equip the chosen knight with a suit, melee or range weapon that increases their power level and the base stats that allow them to take on the higher level missions. Story and side missions are locked behind the level requirements that you are forced to meet to actively engage with them. This wouldn't truly be a problem if I was leveling, if it didn't feel like a grind and gear system was explained more to the rather than the players investigating a messy UI. To understand the incorrects of the it. To level up, players are forced to engage with dimensional open world crimes to unlock their bigger predicted crimes. The problem here lies in the fact that there is just not enough variety of the justifying to taking any challengers over and over again. The cycle of grinding random encounters and crafting better gear on, let's say, to raise a power of the level honestly feels a little like a home game of something like a Destiny, I would say, in a Batman type of game. That takes the pride of the story. Players can experience solo or with one other person. Those who have no experience in such games may have trouble grasping all the system at the play because the game has limited tutorials aspects of the level. The game has been accessible in the hidden behind menus and the menus with the messy UI, which is a shame to become a level of customizable cosmetics build is tragically good and baffling decisions trademark is really locked in the number of the challenges. For example, Batgirl can't glide until the player does an RR training mission that is solved like 10 preventable crimes and defeat 3 mini-bosses. Only then she is inspired by Batman's code and can be displayed in the kind of briefly whole world. Until then, you are forced to use a flanking grappling hook that at times will really feels like an unpredictable thing, and a bad cycle that lacks a sense of speed and velocity. Until I unlocked these abilities, navigating through the world felt like an absolute core with the thinking grapple hook and the Luxor battle style. Anyway, let's talk about the combat a bit and speak about something, well, I would say good, or maybe, well, combat feels really pretty lackluster. Featuring the system not unlike the Spider-Man's game, players giving the light and heavy strikes along the range weapons are satisfying dodge. Combat comes into the own where you start unlocking unique abilities that are height of the momentum bar. This range anywhere from girl like unleashing a fury strikes to Red Hood implementing the clips of his guns of an enemy simple kind of type. Each knight will also have a signature ability to unique of them, such as the like let's say Batgirl summoning a drone to fight along her and provide healing. Let's say Robin summoning an army of microbots when the level up in the night fills with the more and everyone inside. The story missions and the side missions, they all feel kind of a little bit, well, boring, I would say. Anyway, through the game, Charm turns momentums with like deep references to the Batman lore. There is a lot of them, like the Harley Quinn, let's say, Mr. Freezy, or the Court of Wolves. What the deep cuts and the surprise appearances are also in the game. It's very obvious the game that comes from the place of the passion, which makes the disconnect between gameplay and narrative feel the larger it should be. It's interesting that the Gotham Knights has the new Bat family game from the board force open the Batman's death as the main characters of the game grappling with the legacy, as leaves behind the struggling where you go next. In many ways, the development and resulting the game are put in the same situation in the living of the shadow of the Batman Arkham video games. Honestly, if I would compare these two, even 10 years later, I would still prefer Batman's game. But anyway, let's not speak too much about that. Maybe, a retro review on the channel? Drop the like for that. So anyway, where the game begins to stumble is in the gameplay design chances. Like I said, there is some problems in that. The story missions and the side missions are absolutely dread in the game. It was absolutely great seeing the versions of the characters interact, and they're all written very well. Every time a cutscene played, and I was really enthralled with this version of Gotham. Only at times, when you have everything unlocked, when you have everything upgraded, the game between that period and the period of the start of the game is not that much fun. It's more of a grind to this level, where in the end, it becoming super fun. But in the end of the day, that's how life works. So maybe Gotham Knights actually a good game. Anyway, it is up to you to decide and give the final decision on Gotham Knights. Thank you everyone for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. I was really very pleased to play this game and review it for you, and bye.